Welcome to match number 2. We're about to get underway here. We're just about to start. Of course, this is the match between Sano Cricket Club and Rising Stars. Remember, this is, of course, the JCL T10 League. We're just about to get underway. Sano Cricket Club, of course, winning the toss and choosing to bat first. Now, moments away. And looks like it's Kayesh Khan who starts with the ball. And a little confusion between the batters there. Remember, Sano won the previous match by close to 30 runs. They were really, really effective with the bat. And they would be hoping to do that once again. That would be the entire premise behind choosing to bat first. Now, good bowling, really good bowling to start with. And now there it is. Well, he strikes. He strikes an important wicket very early on. And that's exactly what you want if you're Rising Stars. Look at the celebrations. Look at the high fives. That's good to see. They didn't win the toss. They had to bowl first. We're not sure what they would have chosen, but this is what they would have chosen if they were given them a choice. An early wicket. And well, there you have it. New batter at the crease. They've lost an early wicket. They've lost it in the first over itself. And that is not what the batting side would have wanted, especially after choosing to bat first. And now they have to reimagine it. You saw them score 105 in the first innings of the first match earlier. And maybe something similar would be on their mind. This is, of course, the power play. The first 3 overs are the power play. And once again, this time he scores. He gets once more another wicket. And the batsman's not happy. He's complaining about something, but that does not matter because now Kayesh Khan is on a hat-trick. Well, what a spin. What a ball that is. Just misses the bat completely. Spins in, gets the wicket. And 2 wickets in 2 balls. Danger time, trouble time for Sano. Because, well, now they've just lost 2 wickets, and this was unprecedented for a team like Sano. They need to really stabilize. They've lost the captain as well. Wow. Who would have expected this? Who would have thought of this early on? If you ask me, to be very honest. So, well, we're back at it, and remember, Ganesh Khan on a hat trick now. He's on a hat trick, and I'm sure the batting team does not want that at all. Look at that, just defends that, and that's going to be a single. And well, this is an unusual start for Sano. I'm still reeling. I'm sure they're reeling from it as well, and they need to. They need to come back to base very, very fast because they don't have time to think. And now defends that once again. So that brings the over to an end, and this has been a really brilliant over for the bowling side. The Rising Stars, they've risen all right. They've risen in the first over, and let's see if they can keep it up because it's 2 wickets down already. So it's Motabriz and Kolosuriya still there. Khan now with the ball. And now Mohammad Sohag, the bowler, starts with a good delivery. Just 1 run in that over. Remember the first over of the power play, just that single. And these two now, they would be desperate to form a partnership, won't they? They really need to. And Kolosuriya needs to step up once again, as he did in the previous game. And there it is, one again, a brilliant ball. They're really doing well with it, aren't they? 2 dot balls. Really good bowling. This is what you want. This is what you want to see. And that's going to be a wide and well welcomed wide by the batting side. And here he comes in the attack once again. This time swings at it, but the fielder happy to receive that one. That's going to be another dot ball. Sohag really bowling well so far, and now try to lift it above. The fielder there just trying to converge, and I think that's going to be a single. Just a single of that one. Now, good defense there as well. So, once again, a good over shaping up right here. And now, just 2 runs of the over so far. Final delivery here. It's in the air. Where will it go? Will it travel across to the boundary? And it does. That's the first boundary. Surya once again showing his class this time. And that's 4 runs added to the total of Sano, taking it up to 7 in the first 2 overs. A very rocky start, a slow start indeed, but just picking up some steam towards the end. 7 for 2 at the end of 2 overs. Now, once again, we have who else but Kayesh Khan back in the attack, but this time it looks like they found the boundary of the first ball itself, finding some confidence, I think, right there. But they had to bring him back, didn't they? This was the time when they would probably want to utilize the early pressure that he's made. Kaish Khan now back in the attack, 4 of the first ball. And now Tabriz stepping up with confidence. It's in the air and it's gone all the way. That is a maximum of 4 and a 6 to the man who's taken 2 wickets in the first over, given just a single. Now 4 and a 6. Wow. 10 runs off the first 2 balls there. Tabriz finding his feet finally. Really good movement and getting the bat right on top of the ball, straight off the center, middled it brilliantly. A 4 and 6 takes them up to 17. Just asking for water, I think maybe they need that. It's of course it's heating up a little. You can understand that. Still, we have a fairly, I would say, decent weather going on right now because it's up to 33s, 34s. The humidity is increasing a little bit, and that really then drenches you, and that's the only thing that really could be a possibility of irritation for the batting side, maybe because they're completely padded up on there. And I think just a little conversation going on between, while after you know the small drinks break, the mini break that we're finding ourselves in here. Let's have a look at the match so far. Sano, of course, had a great first match before this, and now they lost 2 wickets early on, and after that they seem to have just recovered a little bit. Tabriz now, of course, at the crease, 12 of 7. You saw him hit a 6 and a 4 in the first two balls of this over. Kolasuria 4 from 3. 17 of 2 now. This is the third over going on. And we're about to start once again after that small break. Well, the players needed it. A little bit of conversation, a little bit of strategy, and a little bit of hydration. All of it, all together. And, well, so let's start again. Bowler, close. Remember, 2 wickets already. He was on a hat trick, wasn't he, Kayesh Khan? Now, so we're ready to get underway. Kayesh Khan with the ball. 4 and 6 of the first two deliveries. I think he'll be happiest with the break. It was a long break, gave him ample time to recover, ample time for him to re strategize. And you can see the start with that single. Tabriz was really hammering those first two deliveries with for 4 and 6. Up to 18 now. And this is the crucial partnership, if I think, Tabriz and Kolasuria. Breaking this partnership would be the crucial call for Rising Stars. And now he gets that nick. The fielder running after it. The boundary's close, but not close enough there. No one at fine leg, but the fielder a little wider from the square leg, just runs after it and stops it before it reaches the boundary line there. Surya managed to take a couple. Now this time he's hit it well. He's hit it well. He's trying to find the boundary there, and there's nobody who can stop that one in the power play. That's going to be 4 more runs. So 24 now, up to the task, and it's 1 ball to go. They're picking up steam now. They really have picked up steam in this over. The previous one as well, but more so this one. 17 runs in this over already. Remember, just 1 run in the first over, and 17 of this one. Defends that one. He's all fine with that, and that brings about the end of the third over. The power play comes to an end with that. It's 24 for 2 at the end of 3 overs. The power play ends up, and now Seven more overs to go, and this partnership is starting to build now step by step. 13 of 8 for the Briz, 10 of 6 for Surya. Let's see what happens. Change of ends, of course, change of bowling approach and attack as well. Who's going to come up? That's the question. We should see. So, just waiting up now. Alamgir now, the man given the responsibility of the first over after the power play. Right-handed bowler, the approach, and now a swing and a miss for Tabriz. I think you can see what he's targeting. You can see the idea behind what he's trying to do. And this time, look at the contact straight off the bat there. And the fielder, he's going to be there. But that was good contact. That was good contact, wasn't it? Once again now. This time towards the other side. It's in the air. Can he get there in time? The fielder cannot. But he does well to stop it at just that. So, a single and a double so far. Decent over shaping up for Alamgir. He'll be fine with singles and twos. It's only 10 overs so far, so every over is a good over for the bowling side if you don't go for two boundaries. And now it's in the air this time. The fielder could not get there. It just lands in no man's land. The gap in between. You can see the idea. All the shots have gone more so towards the offside. Of course, that comes out to how Alamgir is bowling as well. But he's bowling well because he knows the strength that Tabriz has, especially towards the leg side of his shots. Surya, on the other hand, well, this time you can see this time trying to send it down the leg. It's in the air, but it's going to go for a maximum. That's exactly what we were talking about, and it's happened right here in the next ball itself. Tabriz swinging, opening up his bat, swinging it all the way across the body towards the leg side, and that's going to go for a massive six. A much needed six for the batting side. They've suffered in the first over, especially a little in the second as well. But since then, they've picked up steam. And that could be worrying signs for the Rising Stars. This time, just a single. But still, a very good over. One boundary, a large boundary, and then, a lot of singles and twos. That's 11 runs in the over. It's 35 for two at the end of four overs. And I think we're going to be happy with that, especially the recovery that we've seen from Tabriz and Surya. This was really good. So, a change in the approach. You've got Lemon now, the new bowler. Lemon now given the responsibility of the fifth over. Straight drive down the line from Tabriz. Only a single so far, but good contact on it. Once again now. Trying to go for a good delivery. A swing there, straight down the line again. And this time trying to converge, trying to stop it. They're going to come back for two. Stops the boundary. Really good feeling in the deep. That was important, wasn't it? And this time again he swings at it towards the off. Now they're finding their feet a little. Can he stop the boundary? Yes, good fielding there in the end. Had to be confident. You can see the appreciation from Lemon as well. 2 runs again, but twos and twos are fine. I think boundaries is what they want to prevent, and they're doing exactly that this time around. 5 runs of the over so far. The 40 mark comes up, but slowly and steadily they're getting close to the run rate that they would want. I think they want to play around a run rate of 10 to 11 and over. And now this time, hits there in the long, in the gap there. 2 men behind that, and now that spills for a 4. 2 men behind it, and I think ultimately the bounce just caught him off guard. He just overran it a little, the fielder there, and the bounce just missing him and going for 4 runs. We're talking about those boundaries that they need to save up on. This was a little easy to go. 44 from 4.4 overs now. 9 runs of the over now. Lemon, does he have something in the bag? The striking, Kolasuria gets something on it. Should be a single, maybe two if quick running is on the cards. But no, says Kolasuria. 10 runs of the over for now, but 1 ball to go. It's 45. Let's just see what's going to be the last ball. 24 and 20, respectively, for these two gentlemen here. And now they've really built up a head of steam. Can Lemon break the partnership here? Gets off the edge of the bat now. Can someone get behind that? The fielder just grabbing on it, sending it back, and that's going to be a single. So 46 at the end of 5 overs, 9.2 the striking rate. And with that, that's the end of 5 overs. 5 more overs to come. 46. They've really, really shaped up well now. Now, this time, once again, Alamgir in the attack. Alamgir once again. This time it's in the air, just ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. You can see he almost reached there, but then he didn't. And the referee's indication goes up as well. That is what you don't want to see. You're losing the boundaries. Well, Alamgir once again, this time trying to change something up, and it's in the air again. And this time it crosses the fence once again. Look at the confidence with which they're playing right now. And sixes galore here. That is what you want to see if you're supporting Sano Cricket Club, if you're on the dugout here. And well, for the Rising Stars, the early momentum that they built, it's all just lightening bit by bit. That's the problem. They need to change something up. There's two sixes in this over already. And they're up to 59 now. Call Surya. You know once he's on it, he really is. And this time, again trying to find the gap. Good fielding there, but no, in the end, the ball just bounces off and he cannot stop it. Looked like a good diving save, but the boundary was inevitable. So 4 more runs. That's 17 runs in the over already. And they're up to 63. They've now caught fire, haven't they? They really have. And fireballs being spit out of the bat of these two here. 26 and 36, both of them. And once again trying to find the gap. And he does that brilliantly. Call Surya. 40 runs up for him. This is the over. This is the over they were looking for. Because now, well, 21 runs in the over. 21 runs. They're up to 67 already. This is spelling big trouble. Big trouble for Rising Stars. They need to break this partnership. And someone needs to get Surya's wicket for the Rising Stars. But meanwhile, Sano Cricket Club are in rejoice mode because this man is unstoppable today. He's on a mission. This time, again, trying to go for the big shot. But only a single. And that is going to be relief for Alamgir and the Rising Stars. That brings about the end of the sixth over, 68 for 2 at the end of 6 overs. And Surya, 41 of just 16 balls after the start they had, after the loss of those 2 early wickets. My God, 41 of 16, and you can see Tabriz, who's had a brilliant innings so far, 26 of 16 still. But Surya is in another stratosphere. He's on another planet altogether. And does anyone have a solution to taking his wicket? We will see. 68 for 2 at the end of 6 overs, 4 overs to go, and just a little bit of a drinks break once again while we change ends. Now, Zubair has been given the responsibility to bring about the change that we're talking about. And he starts with a good delivery. Surya right there. Maybe, just maybe, Zubair can bring about the change that they want, bring about the break in this partnership. Look at that, really good bowling once again, putting Surya under pressure. He's not finding it the easiest to read this one. Up to 41 that he is. Played those 2 deliveries so far. This time, gets something off it, off the edge. And is it going to be all the way? No, the fielder gets there. Alamgir this time. Good fielding at the deep. But they managed to get 2 runs off it. So the 70 mark now comes up for Sano. And Surya back on strike. 2 runs of the over so far. 3 deliveries done. Now. And well, that was well bowled. That was really well bowled. It's going to go behind. It's going to be a single, I think. Yes, there it is. But that was good. That was a good delivery. 3 runs of the over so far. This is the kind of over you want. If he can just end it up on a good note. Tabriz now on strike. It's always difficult to deal with 2 left-handers. Sometimes you don't have the right hander left hander combo, which is even better. But if you don't have a bowling attack that does well against left handers, then you are in trouble. And that's something what we've witnessed here, right here. Another single. So 4 runs of the over. And now just swinging once again down the line. I think that's going to be another single. So good over overall by Zubair. Brings things back in control a little bit. And that brings the over to an end. Just 5 runs of the over. It's 73 for 2 at the end of 7 overs. This is a good recovery over because they really launched themselves into a different planet, like we said, after the previous over. 20 plus runs in that one. And this is a little bit better for the Rising Stars. And let's see who comes on after this. Looks like it's going to be Lemon again. Asif Lemon had a great over earlier as well. Lemon, comparatively especially. These two still at strike. Look at the partnership. It's been all them. Both of them have really carried the mantle here and taken their team to a really good position. Even if this partnership was to break now, they've scored 72 runs between them. Now, Lemon in the attack this time. Gets a little nick off it, but can it be saved? No, it can't. The power behind that shot from Surya starts away straight away with the 4. Takes it up to 77. And with this, he is up to 49 as well. Let's consider that back-to-back 50s if he does that. Number 60 plus score in the first innings of the first game earlier. Back-to-back 50s would be incredible for Surya. But that shows his talent and his skill. This time he swings once again down the line, and that's a maximum. Finishes it in style to get his 50 up. And with that, well, look at the appreciation from the dugout. This one matters much more than the previous one because this has come in lesser deliveries, but after a really, really tumultuous start for his team, where he could have easily lost his cool, could have come under pressure, could have, conceded his wicket as well. Didn't do any of that. 55 just 23, 4 and 6 to start this over. Now he's up to 55. The team is up to 83. And he says, thank you so much for that because I've just released all the pressure for another maximum. That's 16 runs in the first 3 balls. And Lemon really needs to find an answer here because the team, Sano Cricket Club, are up to 89 now. And they look to probably break the score of the first match where they scored 104. And this match, they've faced the pressure, they've faced the problems, but they've come out swinging and 61 for Surya of just 24 balls this time. Wow. Almost a strike rate of close to 200, 300, sorry. Massive. This time again going into that gap. The fielder needs to cover it off, and he does exactly that. Better fielding this time. Has to rotate strike, does exactly that. Now this time Tabriz gets something on it. The outfield there's got to slow it down. Can he stop it? Yes, he does stop it in the end. Not sure whether the fielder had given up in the start, but saves it up in the end. Once again, this time Lemon, final delivery, hit it towards the leg side, a little bit squarer, but finer, much more finer with another 4 runs. So that brings the over to an end, and this has been an immense over once again. 23 runs off it and takes them all the way to 96 of 8 overs. 2 more overs to go. And well, there's a lot that can happen. I'm sure, of course, we're going to see 1 over from Zubair because he was absolutely brilliant earlier. 5 runs, amazing bowling. Probably they're going to try and go for big runs in his over as well because they have the wickets in hand now. There's 2 overs to go. But wow, this has been a recovery and a half. 62 for Surya, 33 for Tabriz. Zubair now. Look at that, trying to just nick it slightly, and the wicketkeeper couldn't get anything on it. What a cool shot that is from Surya. That is such a great cricketing shot to play. That is confidence personified. And he gets another 4 there off the first ball of Zubair. 5 runs in the previous over, remember. 4 already of the first ball. That's what confidence does. And because of that, the 100 comes up for Sano Cricket Club. 100 already. Remember 104 in the first game. They batted first that time as well. And 100 this time. But the only difference is they have 11 balls to go. Still, this could be anything. Surya once again towards the leg side. But the fielder there doing a good job. Doing a very good job there. Standing his ground and saving all the runs. Stepping up, Surya this time trying to find the gap. Has he found the gap? I think the fielder's going to converge there for a single. Good bowling once again by Zubair. Once again, this time onto the other side. The leg side, obviously, being a little favorable, if you say so. And well, there's an appeal while the ball runs behind, and it's probably going to go for a 4 if the umpire's not happy with the appeal. He is not. That's going to be 4 more runs. Well, Zubair, he's not going to be happy with that. That's going to be a 4. So after that single, back-to-back singles, 4 runs comes up. So now, this time it's in the air. Where's it going to go? It's going to be caught, or is it not? Yes, it is. Well, wow. That is an amazing catch. Wow. Surya is dismissed at 71. Of course, ultimately now you don't have a lot of balls to matter. It really doesn't. You have to go for the big shots. You want to put up the score. But what a catch by Alamgir in the deep. That was an amazing diving effort. Maybe too little too late. Don't want to dissuade them. Everything matters. You never know. It's up to 106 now. But that wicket in the end, really crucial. 10 runs in the over, 5 runs of the first over for Zubair, 10 in this one, 106 for 3 at the end of 9 overs, 1 over to go. It'll be interesting now, the approach, but of course, Tabriz is going to be the man at strike. Is he going to go for the big ones? Of course he is. But is he going to be making them? That's the question. But Surya, what a brilliant knock. Once again, 71 runs. 71 runs. More than, it's almost 70% of the team's total so far. 60 plus, about 62, 63 in the previous match, 71 this time around, with a massive run rate advantage. The strike rate is brilliant as well. It's not just that, he's playing slow and getting those runs in. Absolutely dependable. And looks like it's Devon who's walked out now to partner with Tabriz. Devon Van Onselen. It's actually, just a correction, it's actually Rio who's come out. Rio Sakurano Thomas, the captain, has come out at last. And this time, is he going to even play a couple of deliveries? Not sure. Maybe Tabriz is going to just favor them. He's already got a good touch going. And Sohag of course, has been given the responsibility of the final over. 6 runs in the first over for him. 106 on the board. Remember, 104 is what they made in the previous game. And this time, I'm sure they'll be looking to extend the lead that they already have. Tabriz getting good contact there. There's a chance. And yes, he gets those 4 runs. So it's 110 now. Tabriz up to 38. Is he thinking about his 50? That's the question. 12 runs he needs in the next 4 deliveries. Maybe a 6 would help. I don't think he would be thinking about a 50 right here. Maybe just the maximum amount of runs he can get for his team. We've seen him play very selflessly in the past. But just a question sometimes, to the players, what's going through their minds in these moments. Sometimes there's a lot racing in between. Now, Tabriz this time, and there it is. The wicket's gone. There's no 50 today. There's nothing else. It's a great, great knock once again. Another good knock coming to an end. Tabriz 38 of 22. He was going to go all out. He was not going to take it easy. He was never going to just play it simple when there's just 3 to 4 balls remaining. But Sohag strikes. It's 110 for 4. 3 balls to go. And just a little bit of restriction, if you say so, for the team here. Trying to stop it a little bit. So, a wicket there, and just 3 balls to go now. Sekine on the striker's end. Sakurana Thomas on the non-striker's end. Is the captain even going to get to play a single ball? We'll see here. Well, that was a bouncer. That was a bouncer, and the right time to deliver the bouncer when it's the new man at the crease. It's one of the over, but a really good over this shaping out to be now for Sohag. A dot ball, 4 runs, and then 2 dot balls with a wicket in the middle as well. 2 balls to go now, and he's really controlled the runs here. Good bowling from Sohag. This is needed. This could have been 120, 125 even. And look like that. Well, just try to stop there. It's going to be a single. Are they going to come back for 2? No, says the captain. So he's going to play the final delivery. 5 runs of the over so far. 111 comes up. It's always difficult to, strike off your first ball. Not the easiest when you've not got a few knocks in, just a couple of touches to get the feel of the ground, the pace, the pitch. But let's see if Sakurano Thomas can get a boundary here. 6 or a 4. Can he? Sohag has bowled brilliantly. One of the, standout players here. And full toss this time. It's in the air. Is he going to travel? I think the fielder's underneath it, but he cannot stop that. Just at the edge of the boundary rope, and that is a 6. Sohag is not the happiest with it. I think he thought maybe something better. Well, that's gone for 6. And ultimately, it's 117 on the board for Sano Cricket Club in the 10 overs here. 118 to chase. Well, a difficult chase, but 118 to chase for the Rising Stars. Can they do it? We've seen that 100 plus chases have been difficult. And, well, let's just appreciate the knock that we've seen. We're going to see the statistics here. You saw the early wicket of Demon on Celine. You saw the wicket of Kameyama. And ultimately, Tabriz 38 and Kolasuriya 71. These were the 2 men who clutched it. As you say, Chihaya Sekine and Rio Sakurano Thomas just ending it, the captain, ending it with a good 6 in the end, honestly. But, well, that is that. That is that for the first innings. We're going to take a small break. We're going to be back again. We're just going to have a look at the bowling averages and run rates as well. but really good bowling in the start, I would say, then really fell through. We'll see it right here. Kayesh Khan, 2 wickets on a hat trick in the first over, just 1 run, and then 17 runs in the second, still averages around 9, not too bad. Sohag averages around 8.5, a wicket for him as well. But Alamgir with 16.5 and Limon with 17 have been the expensive ones, 33 and 34 in those 2 overs. Zubair as well, 7.5, really done a good job, took that wicket. The second over, a little bit expensive with 10 runs. The first over, really good. And you can see the fall of wickets 0-0, and then straight 106, 110. That's all it was. And well, that is it. You can see the momentum swing as well. So 118 to chase, and then we're going to come back for the chase very soon for the rising stars.
He's eliminating your effort. And he's bad. Why are you not making it? You are very bad. अरे आपको ये बैट भी दे दो आपका नहीं जाएगा लाओ लाओ बॉल दो ना यार ये ग्रिप कितनी गंदी कर रहा है लकड़ा अलग लकड़ी का जो ऐसा बैट हमारे पास है जो है ना की बॉल से खेलते दे दो वो यहाँ मारते हैं Come, let's go.
So we're back to the chase and we're about to begin. This is the big chase that the rising stars need to chase down 118. And we start with the captain assuming the responsibility of the first over. Look at the speed that he picked up there. Starts with the wide, but the intention, well, that is clear. Starts with a good delivery. And this time, once again, getting a good shot off there. Is that going to run for forward? The power play, the fielders converging, and good fielding there. It's probably going to be 2 runs. They need to get to a strong start, remember. This time, get something on it. It's in the air, and well, they're taken. Taken, Rahman. Well, Sunny Rahman, the captain, has been dismissed. Tried to go for the big shot there, didn't get the right purchase on it. Toha, on the other hand, non-strikers and just can watch at this point as that goes, and the captain has been dismissed. So that is an early strike, isn't it? Well, we saw a couple of early strikes in the first over of the first innings as well. Let's not forget that. But the comeback there was immense, especially from Tabriz and Kolasuria. What you do have to consider is that those two players are really outstanding players. Someone has to step up. A couple maybe have to step up in the similar four in this match as well because they have a huge target and they cannot be lax about it. They need roughly 12 runs and over. And they need those. There were two 20 plus overs. That was the crucial point. And that's what the Rising Stars need as well. Starting here, 3 for 1 in the first two deliveries. The captain has gotten the wicket. And here he comes. Sakurano Thomas in the attack once again. Just defended that time. Lets the ball through. Now, once again, just defends well yet again. Good running. Good running between the sticks. So 4 runs in the over so far. And Sakuran Thomas once again in the attack now. This time, I think, did he get something on it? No interest from either parties. So another good delivery, another dot ball. And dot balls are the enemy of Rising Stars right now. They need to get roughly 12 and over. We saw this in the previous game as well, where the men in blue, the first few overs were a little, not up to the mark when they were chasing, and that increased the pressure, kept increasing right till the end. At one point, they needed roughly 20 runs and over towards the end, and now that's going to be a wide. 5 runs in the over. They need a boundary, or don't they? They desperately need a boundary. This time swinging once again. It's in the air. Well, that's going to probably get them a 4, and they needed that. So 4 from Toha. Now in the final delivery that takes it up to 9. A decent start from Sakurano Thomas. 1 wicket for 9 runs. It's all right. Of course, you're in the power play, so even more so. They need a little bit more, but still a fairly okay, decent start here for the Rising Stars. 9 runs for 1 wicket in the first over. Now, we come here for the second over in front of us. And it's Chandema who's been given the responsibility. Alamgir at the crease, Toha, non-striker's end. Chandema now in the attack, and well, he strikes. He strikes straight away. Alamgir has gone for a duck in 3 deliveries. And you can see the happiness, you can see the celebrations, you can see the jubilations on the players of Sano. Meanwhile, trouble keeps rising up. Trouble keeps rising up for the Rising Stars. And they need someone to build a partnership with Toha. Need to get to a 40-50 mark and then maybe see if they can chase it down. Because as it's going, if the wickets keep falling, it would just spell trouble. This time again in the attack. So Hag now just trying to play it off. Swing and a miss this time. Just gets something slightly actually. Now this time gets something hard on it, Toha, and now nothing there. Maybe a hope of a boundary. They need that. The strike was good. And well, there's an appeal, there's a shout, and the finger goes up. The finger goes up, so Sohag has to return as well. You can see Toha just indicating from the other side, and the third wicket has fallen. Chandema, this time, well, he strikes. And this is now really worrisome, isn't it, for the Rising Stars? This is worrisome because now, hmm, really need someone to step up. Now we go once again. This time, new over, 12 for 3, of course, remember, in the two overs. Both overs have fetched wickets back to back. And Sohag and Saeed now have to build up their partnership once again. And who are they facing? The maestro Yuto Ball. Now, look at that. The way he takes pace off the deliveries and is on as per his convenience and will is really, really immaculate. This is one of the overs that they have to maybe find something. Remember, this is the last over of the power play, the third over, and this is why they need something. They need probably 10 runs at least in this over. Otherwise, it will really be a difficult uphill mountain to climb for the Rising Stars as the required run rate will keep rising. Always going to be a difficult task when you're chasing 100 plus, and especially something close to 120. We see these kind of scores in T20 games, and now there's a shout again. The umpire not indicating anything there. Did he? Did he? I think he has. I think he has he? Well, I think he has indicated. For a moment it looked like he was just having a conversation. It did look like it got the leg there of Saeed. But well, that's the end of his innings as well. That's another wicket. Yuto Ball strikes, and it's 4 wickets down now. So now, are the cards folding up for the Rising Stars? Well, 4 wickets down, 13 for 4 in the third over. You've lost a lot of your batsmen already. So now we move once again. Another good delivery. It's the man himself. It is Gaesh Khan who's come to the striker's end, and Sohag on the non-striker's end. He's survived so far. He has survived. He's seen his partners change up regularly. Nobody able to build any kind of confidence with him. And now that's going to be a white ball. 2 runs of the over so far. The final delivery yet to come. And this is going to be the end of the power play after this delivery. And whatever you say, it's been a really difficult power play for the Rising Stars. They've lost four wickets, just 14 runs so far. 1 run, no, is the call. So that is it. That's the end of the power play. 14 for 4 at the end of the power play for 3 overs. And just those 2 runs for Utah Ball and his over. What an over. What an over by Utah Ball. And well, is there a solution? Is there an answer? Is there anything that can be done, that can happen for the Rising Stars? We will see. We shall see. But, well, now, this time, once again, you've given the responsibility. You can see Devon stepping up to it. Devon Van Onselen took a couple of. That's wide. Well, look to spin it back inside. Not too bad. Wide. But the spin back was really interesting. Took a couple of wickets in the previous game, if you remember. 14 for 4. First over after the power play. And it's Sohag and Kayesh Khan. And now hits it on the full toss. It's in the air. Can someone catch that underneath? That's an opportunity. Yes, they do. They've taken Sohag's wicket as well. And this is turning out to be a really, really difficult moment for the Rising Stars, especially with the bat. Wow. That is half the team gone already. It's 15 for 5. Measly 15 runs so far. Nobody is able to get anything underway. Nobody's able to get those runs, get the boundary, stay at the crease for far too long. And this is becoming one-sided now. Really one-sided. Is there a solution? I do not know. Really, really do not know. Very, very one-sided for now. We don't want to be pessimistic. We don't want to take the chances away from the Rising Stars. But it's looking really difficult now. One wide of the over so far, a wicket as well for Van Onselen. We spoke about that earlier. The way he spins the ball tempted Sohag a little bit. And this time, well, the ball's gone behind. The fielder's trying to converge, maybe trying to stop it in time just before it reaches the boundary. It's Elena who does that. It's going to get them 2 runs off that wide, probably. Wides are something that, at times difficult to control for Van Onselen. We've seen so in the past. But they're at a position where they can, afford the luxury of all the extras that they want, to be honest, at this point, because there's 100 runs more to go. More than that. 103 runs needed. And it looks really difficult when you've lost 5 wickets already. Swings a little. Not too happy. Does fielder at fine leg. Stops that one. Van Onselen once again. Well, this time, there's an appeal. There's an appeal. But not a lot of interest from the umpire. I think it was rising up. Looked to be high, to be very honest. Can be realistic. That seemed a little high, to be honest. And now this time another appeal, and the ball plays off behind. And what's the verdict? I think the umpire's not interested once again. So that brings about the end of the over. 4 runs of that over, a wicket as well. It's 18 for 5 at the end of 4 overs. Just a little bit discussion between the two batsmen. How can they approach this? Hassan and Kaish Khan. They've lost half their team. They've lost their captain. They've already lost Rahman. They've lost Saeed. They've lost Alamgir. They've lost Sohag as well. Toha has gone as well. And it's a really difficult position to be in, especially with a lot of good bowling yet to come from the Sano side. It's Hassan and Khan. And after this, once you lose the 6th wicket, you're going to have bowlers coming in. Maybe Zubair, maybe Ashik, maybe Lemon. So interesting. And on the bowling side, it's Komal Hassan who gets the responsibility. Look at that, a little flighted with that. Good contact on that Khan. That's going to go close to the boundary. But just a single there. Mohibul Hassan playing there along with Kayesh Khan. 19 runs on the board. They still need 99 runs more. And almost the 5th over right happening in front of us. Here we go once again. This time Hit on the full toss, swiped at it towards the leg side, square leg, but the fielder's there, recipient of the ball there, and well, this time once again. So good bowling by Hassan so far, except for the wide. He's bowled to his field set, as you say. So even if you try to get a good contact, his fielding is there. And this time they're trying to find that gap exactly that way. Is it going to go all the way to the boundary ropes? Good fielding there in the deep, I think. Ultimately saved the boundary. Couple of runs there. This time slightly wide. Yes, wide given. Fifth over, of course, in front of us. Now, 6 runs of the over so far. 3 balls to go. 24. Gets something on it. I think that could have been a wide, but just got something minute on it. Maybe I think the wide has been signaled. So maybe the batsman didn't get a bat on it, didn't get a nick. So 2 more extras for the batting side. They would welcome all extras at this point. They need runs. They need, well, they're still not too far off. They need one really good over to maybe give them a chance. And this time, I think that's hit well into the gap. Well, that is a good shot. That is a really, really good shot. That is hit well. You needed something like that, didn't you? Some amount of confidence, some amount of, relief and hope is what you get. Of course, I would say maybe they would want to be somewhere around 50, 55 at the end of this over. But even if they can get closer to 40 after what they've been through, that would maybe just make them think a little, wonder a little, can we? Is it not over yet? Well, it's all going to be difficult with the quality of bowling we've seen. And that's a wide. I think they're going to come back for a single or maybe even two. Is it going to go all the way? Good feeling there by Alina. Really good feeling. She dove for it, made sure that she didn't take it lightly because that four would have meant something completely different. But they run 2 runs there, plus a wide, so 3 runs off it. 35 on the board with 1 ball to go. This has been an expensive over. This has been one of those expensive over. 17 runs of this over from Hassan. 1 ball to go. And well, there it is as an appeal, and there you strike. He does that. He returns, went for that, cross shot across leg, Hassan. But ultimately, just couldn't get the strike. It just kept low. It spun inside, and that's leg before wicket. LBW, and that brings about the end of the fifth over. It's 35 for 6 as we've lost Munibul Hassan's wicket as well. 35 for 6 at the end of 5 overs. 5 overs remain. And well, 118 seems far off now. They need 83 in the next 5. They need to average close to 17 runs an over. Mammoth task. Now, Elena in the attack. She's been given the responsibility. Really good over in the previous game, if you remember. Now starts with a good delivery. Overthrow now. You don't want overthrows. You don't want to create this kind of situation. Quick running once again. And again, another overthrow. Well, they need to calm it down. They need to calm it down because those overthrows, well, they still have a huge advantage. Let's not forget that. But still, you don't want that. So then that's going to be a wide, I think. In the attack now, once again, this time player is slightly off. Just a single. The 40 mark has come up, of course. Swing and a miss this time, but that's going to be another wide. She just has to get the length and line a little bit under control. But so far, decent bowling from Kasudanan. We've seen her just, create some half opportunities. The wides, they can still afford. This is a time they can probably get her confidence up. And now a swing there. Gets slight nick off it. Is it going to be stopped? Yes, the outfield is quick, but the fielder is quicker. Good fielding. Good, really good fielding there by the third man. Eight runs off the over so far. 3 balls to go. Ashik on the non-strikers, and that's a full toss. That's hit. Is it going to travel all the way? It looks like it might not, and it's gone past the boundary. Well, the fielder tried his very best. That was a great attempt. He was off the boundary, but he didn't know that. He dove for it. He tried to, his best to save it up. Ultimately, goes for a six. Kasudanan. That was a good shot. It was off the top edge of the bat. It was not middling. That was really a good shot. Needs some power. Khan up to 14 now. Gets a little nick now this time. Coming in for a single. 15 runs in the over so far. They've had those few overs where they've got those 15, 18 runs, but not too many of them, and far too many of those overs with 3, 4, 5 runs, especially when you have such a huge target to chase, a mammoth target. The 50 has come up, of course. And the final delivery of this over. Swing and a miss this time, and that's going to be that for the sixth over. So it's 50 to 6 at the end of 6 overs. They're just an over behind from what they need if you think about it. If they were 50 for 6 at the end of 5 overs, they would still consider themselves very much into the game. It's not over. It's not over. I would say, I think it's probably a 70, 80, even 90% chance that Sano are in the driving seat. I won't deny that, but it's not over. And maybe considering that is why they're going to take an action. Who's going to come next? Looks like just have to see who has been given the responsibility, because it looks like it's Aziz who's got the ball in his hand, because well, the team realizes it's not over and they want one of their best bowlers amongst the best, to just come in and probably take it away from the Rising Stars. If you can take the wicket, especially Khan's wicket, it would really probably spell the end of any kind of charge that the Rising Stars have. And even if he does not do that, 4 or 5 runs in the over would probably just, eliminate any kind of hope. And starting with towards the leg, just a single. the attack now. Good bowling by Aziz. It's gone to the fielder. Going to be a single. Singles are fine. They're happy with singles. They don't want to limit singles. They have a huge target to defend. They don't want boundaries, and he's bowling well to his field, forcing the batter into the choice that the bowler wants him to make. This time again, gets something little on it. Confusion in the field there, and he gets back in time. But the overthrow this time, we saw that a couple of times before. The overthrows are getting them the runs. Of course, I would still say they need those boundaries along with that, but they'd be happy to accept those overthrows. So, good dot ball there. Two balls to go in this over. You can see that is what we were saying. He might strike, he might take a wicket. And even if not, well, is that going to run behind? Yes, it is. Well, something on it. That's 4 runs. That is 4 runs. That is, well, the wicketkeeper is a little upset with himself, but that was not the easiest one to save. Just sneaked past underneath him. And they're up to 57 now, the Rising Stars. They keep fighting. They keep just, hanging on at times. But that's important. 6 runs in the over so far. Seven. Of course, counting the bye and counting the extra. 7 runs in the over so far. 57 is the score. Final ball of the over for Aziz. Probably going to see him again. And this time, a similar outcome was possible where it just sneaks under the bat and runs behind. But the keeper, well, he was aware this time. So 57 for 6 at the end of 7 overs. That's where we stand. And a long way to go still. But they're putting up a fight. They are putting up a fight. 61 runs needed. So now the question is, what are we going to see here? Chandima back in the attack for the 8th over. Interesting approach. I thought maybe Yuto Ball would be the one to take the charge here. But Chandima, I think they've seen something. They know he can probably break this partnership up. Not the biggest threat, of course, like we said, but still threat enough to consider and probably react to it. Once again, the delivery, it's in the air. Where's it gonna go? The fielder underneath it, and he takes it. He takes it comfortably this time, and that's exactly what we're talking about. Khan's wicket. Khan has been dismissed, and we were speaking about this breakage of partnership. This is what Chandima was brought in for. He did that in his first over as well, and now, once again, he strikes. He strikes again. So Chandima strikes. It's the seventh wicket now. Yes, you're reading that right. 50, 58 runs on the board, and a new batter on the board as well. So 57 runs. Apologies, but This is the eighth over, and this is the over that could decide a lot of the match. It's pretty much wrapped up in the favor of Sano. They have been brilliant throughout with the field, but really running after every single opportunity. They've taken the catch as well. They've really bowled well. Chandema, Yuto Ball, even Elena, so many more, and Aziz as well, of course. And with the bat, well, they had a hiccup in the start, but after that, they recovered so very brilliantly. The captain came out towards the end, got that 1-6. You had Kola Surya, of course. Along with that, you had a lot of support from Tabriz towards Kola Surya. And these things really become essential in a team that can contribute, that can, gel well together, works well together, and, has the talent and skill to back it up as well. That is what's important. Chandima now, once again, gets the slightest of nicks of it, plays it down the line. Just going to be a single. I think another important thing to consider for the rising stars would be to probably, even if let's say they consider that they've lost the match, they would want to, not lose out on the run rate, because that could affect them later on the standings in the table. So as many runs as they can get, I think that's going to be a priority. Swing and a miss this time from Lemon, from Ashik actually. This time, once again, and he strikes. Another swing and a miss, but Ashik this time misses it completely, and the stumps were gaping, they were open, and Chandima says, "Thank you so much." He takes another wicket, and it's the 4-4 for him. It's the 4-4. 8 wickets down now, and that's another man dismissed. So that over ended really brilliant for Chandima. 5 runs in 2 overs, and 4 wickets given, 4 wickets taken. Really, really good. You have Bayazid, who's come on to bat along with Lemon. The 58 runs off the target as of now. 2 overs to go. Mathematically, still possible, but the probabilities say a completely different outcome. Surya now, he's been given the responsibility of the ninth over. He's decent with the ball more often than not. Remember in the previous match he went for an expensive over, actually. Only the one over that he bowled. I think it was close to 16 or 17 if I'm not wrong. But now they have the leverage, they have the confidence, and he's usually very reliable as well, and he's earned his way into this position, hasn't he? With the 71 runs that he scored. Surya now. Good bowling once again. Just gets that slight nick. I think they're just gonna get a few singles in this manner. Just rotating strike. Stepping up to it, swinging it a little. And I think he's gone. He's gone. He's got the top there. Look at that. The bails are off. So Caller Surya strikes as well. The bails are off. He gets the wicket. And once again, there's another wicket that has gone 62 for 9 now in 8.3 overs. Are we going to see them play out the rest of the deliveries, or are we going to see a situation where it's all out? Just got the top edge. For a moment, it looked like it just, missed the stump and went into the hands of the wicketkeeper. But then you could see that ultimately it was further from that. The bails were off, and it was just so precise that the bails were taken off, and Surya gets a wicket for himself as well. So, Bayazid and Zubair now at the crease. And you can see a few celebrations, a little bit of jovialness from the Sano players. And well, there it is. He spins it inside and he takes the wicket. What a brilliant delivery by Surya. Zubair not being able to read that one. And that is that. That is the end. Surya, 2 runs given, 2 wickets taken in just 4 deliveries, ends it all up. And 71 runs scored as well. What an outstanding performance by Surya. Back to back games. But it's 62 all out in 8.4 overs for the Rising Stars. They started this game so brilliantly when they took 2 wickets in the first over, albeit it was not the original openers for Sano cricket. But still, this had to be a brilliant comeback. This has been an outstanding team effort. This has been an outstanding performance. 118, the target, 117, they scored, 62 all out, and a well deserved victory. Well deserved back to back victories for Sano Cricket Club. We're here at the Sano Cricket International Ground, obviously, and well, it's heating up in the afternoon. It's not easy conditions to play in, but they've really come out and they've shown their talent, they've shown their skill, and they've shown their collectiveness, their fighting spirit as a team as well. And ultimately, Rising Stars have lost this game, and Sano have done an outstanding effort and they have won the game by 55 runs. Very, very good lead. They'll be happy that this adds well to their run rate as well on the table. We're going to have another game here very soon. We'll have the stats in front of you, the batting stats and the bowling stats. But a 55-run victory really, really cements their position as one of the best teams in the league. The JCL T10, of course. We have another game. We have the game between the Rising Stars and, of course, the Men in Blue. We saw these two teams clashing for the first time in this season. Rising Stars playing now. The Men in Blues have played earlier, but you can see here nobody consistently being able to form anything. 2 runs from Sunny Rahman. It started there, and then Alamgir, a duck. Toha with 5, Sohag with 2, Saeed with another duck. Kayesh Khan, the only one who really found some form today with 16. Hassan with 7, a couple of sixes between Khan and Hassan. But then once again, Ashik at 2, Lemon at 4, Subi Bayazid remains not out, and Zubair with a duck as well. And you can see brilliant bowling. The captain going for 8 runs and then getting a wicket, but the economy of 8. But then Chandema 2.5, Yuto Ball 2, you know, Devon at 4, Aziz at 2. The economy speak for itself. Hassan a little expensive, 17. Elena a little expensive at 15, but that's all. The rest of the field speaks for itself. And that is the match summary for you. 16, the highest scorer, Kayesh Khan for the Rising Stars. 71 with Surya, of just 30 balls. What a brilliant performance. 23 ball, 38 from Mohammad Tabriz as well. And ultimately, that is that for game number 2. That is the end of game number 2. We're going to have another game here starting very soon, in just about another 15 to 20 minutes. Don't go anywhere. The match between the Rising Stars and the Men in Blue is about to get underway. We'll have the toss, we'll have the game right here for the JCL T10, the third game of the day, and see you around for that after a quick short break.